Okay, this is the video I promised you about the food information for the food pantries and other locations, and even an app that you can use locally and throughout the United States to find food locally and farmers markets within your area, so that when things in the grocery store get beyond your pocket or your amount of spending for food for that month, that week, that day, you have other resources to check out so that you can have that instead. So you can still budget, save money, and move on with the things you have to do and not make the choice between, do I pay for rent, pay a bill, or buy food? So I had showed you this app before. It's an app that you can download on your phone, and as you're driving or for that day, just peruse around in the area you're in to see what restaurants are participating for the day. So you can pick up some things on the way home, and, and possibly spend like less than $20 to bring a whole bunch of food home for the day, couple of days, or even a week. That app is called Too Good to Go. I did put it up on my old page, but since that old page is already deleted, I'll show it to you again. This is the app. It's Too Good to Go. You can get this out of whatever type of phone you have, Android or Apple. You download it, and you don't have to set it. You can use it immediately for whatever your current location, and look for any food that is unsold that day from either a gourmet shop, a restaurant, a farmer's market, etc. They will let you know, and they'll show you on the app what to choose from. And you can choose from so many different things. You go and pick it up, pay whatever the bag is cost. If the bag may cost like $5, $6, $10, and they'll give you everything. So that's good to know so that you have it. And it's throughout the United States and other countries, you see here. So this is a good way to make sure that when money is running low and you might not have what you need to make it through the week, you can always guarantee that your family has a decent meal every day of the week, because there are places where you can get surplus bags of food to make sure that you're able to sustain yourself. And it's important. In addition to that, we have preserve. Where's the preserve? Preserve Farm. Preserve Farm kitchens. Now, this is for people who are really into really good health, vegetarians, other people where they're into completely organic stuff. If Now, this is not everywhere, so you would have to actually go on this site, find out how they distribute whatever they produce in their kitchen factory that day, and then they'll let you know what they have. They even talk to you about the shelf life of the jarred preserves. They go into full detail, and this is important because some people really like this. They don't want pesticides in their foods. They don't want anything that can impact their health at all. So they want it in a very clean way, and this is one of them. So this is the website. I'm going to list all of these links in the description of the video so that you have it. But this is for like people that are super serious about everything being organic. This one's for you. Then of course we have Hungry Harvest. Now Hungry Harvest is this is one of the sites where you can have this delivered to your home. Unlike a couple of the other ones I showed you, like Too Good to Go, and even the Organic Preserve Farm, sometimes you have to literally go to those places and pick up the food, or make arrangements. Like with the Preserve Farm, you might have to call up, find out how they would actually get you the food, make the arrangements with them. They might have a particular supplier you have to contact or go to. That's the issue with those two previous locations I showed you. But with Hungry Harvest, this is as simple as sitting at your computer at home and just saying to yourself, all right, I'm going to shop today. But, the food I'm going to buy today might be a bit healthier than what I would get out of the grocery store, period. Okay. And when you go into it, it tells you about everything, how they work, how they deliver. Um, you see here, you get to choose, right? They have actually boxes of produce. Now, keep in mind, these are some of the food distributors or food producers that deal with semi-bruised fruit or what they call ugly food. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. Like the food is good. It's just that it's not super beautiful. So, you know, a banana might be a little ripe, but that's good. If you want to make some banana bread, some French toast with some banana in it, or anything you put banana in it, the blacker the fruit, the sweeter it will taste. So, that's those things you learn. Like, and this is a great site. Like you'll see here, they're trying to promote everything they do. And the best part of this website is right here, very simply. See how it says endless health possibilities? That is clearly what you are supposed to be aiming for whenever you're dealing with food shortages or the health of the black community, because we are known for heart disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, which leads to sometimes heart attacks and strokes that literally take people away from their loved ones. Now, those are not things that the medical field likes to tell you that are specific, or what is that other word they like to say, that we're born with it, predisposed. That's not the case. It's all about your health and how much you exercise, how good you eat, or how well you eat, or how bad you eat, the amount of exercise you have in your life, the amount of rest, and you must drink plenty of water. If you don't drink plenty of water and you try to eat good and you eat a little bit too healthy or rich, you still could get diabetes because you need the water to balance your body out. So, water is always important. Rest, water, exercise, and good sleep. Diet is very important, but not as much as those other things, because this vessel is a thing that needs to be worked on every day, period. So that's important. But this endless health possibilities little paragraph here, I want to read it to you because this speaks to what the functioning of this entire website is about. So, eating produce is the easiest way to keep you and your family healthy. But we know roasted carrots on repeat can be boring. Very true, because I know that firsthand. We deliver a new variety of produce and grocery items each week and share storage tips, simple recipes, and kitchen hacks so you can easily create new healthy meal options. Even when you like just sitting at home and like they were talking about the roasted carrots, after a while it becomes nasty when you eat it so much, right? So the other day, I remembered when I was little, my grandmother used to make pickled string beans, right? And I hadn't done that in a while. So I said, let me do that. So I made a small amount just for myself to make sure that it would taste similar to hers. It was okay. It wasn't exactly like hers. So I said, okay, I'll just keep working on it. But as a result of that, I pickled a few more things. Like I pickled some cucumbers. That was really good. And then I went, and because I like cauliflower, that's just my thing. I put a little pickling on the cauliflower. That came out really good too. Now, other people might not like it, but that's what I like. So when you get these little recipes and you get this produce from places like this, that is going to be extremely cheaper than going to the grocery store and taking your time and going from store to store to pick good produce from here and there. Save a little to the side, do a little bit of experimentation, Google a couple of recipes, find some fresh and new types of way to make salad, to make vegetables, and use your creativity in cooking. And all of that helps as well. So that then you're adding in more stuff that could be helpful to your body, and you get healthier as you're playing and experimenting with food. It's one of the best things. It really is, in my opinion. Um, there's almost never a limit on the amount of companies out there that have delivery services straight to your door. And that's really good, because when you think about the fact that you have so many communities or locations in America where there are food deserts, literally, or um, those places or those locations experiencing the fact that Walmart and other stores like Aldi's or Whole Foods, etc., literally close up shop and leave due to crime, and also, guys, due to political climate. Because Walmart, I saw in the news the other night, in California in particular, they have a good governor out there. I really like that Californian governor. That governor is fighting Walmart, because the reason Walmart is closing is, and I'm not going to go into it, but I'll just grave, graze over it. But Walmart is closing out there because of their political affiliations with the Republican Party, and the fact that Walmart feels that they should not sell the abortion pill in their store in states that allow the pill to be purchased and to be bought. So since their stand, the Walmart stance, and this is coming from the news, I saw it the other night, they are against this abortion pill being sold, and they don't, since they cannot stop it from being sold in that state, they're pulling their stores from it. So it's not always about crime and about what's happening in the communities, in the black communities, that's making these people leave. They're leaving a lot of times because their revenue is not the same, because this we're coming out of that pandemic, and we're moving ahead into the unknown of whatever the economy is going to unfold. You still have very high inflation. You still have about 4 or 5 wars in different locations going on in this world at one time, although they're only talking about the Ukraine and Russia. There are a few others going on. So all of that plays into what's happening with our economy, and we are just blindly going ahead. But know that that's one or more of the reasons why a lot of these locations are closing up shop, the actual brick and mortar store. So it's important for you to know all of these opportunities online where you can just go on these websites, order the things that you can afford or you have access to or you need, while learning how to increase the nutritional values of the food that you're eating and improve your health at the same time. This is another one. This one here, Imperfect Food, they're a great website. Very great. Like you see here, they have weekly delivery to your door. This is also one of these programs where they try to use food that has a little bit of bruising to it, or they call it ugly food. And you search this website by your zip code. But none of this food is spoiled. It's just food that people get rid of faster than they should because it doesn't look perfect. And you all know what I'm talking about. When you go in the grocery store, sometimes things are a little too ripe or whatever. Instead of them tossing it in the trash completely, they could put those things in another location of the store and sell them at a lower price. But they don't want to do that because they don't want to. It's a lot of issues with that. They don't want to do that. So this is part of the Ugly Produce as well campaign to feed people and to keep the ingredients that people eat that are a part of the food as clean and less hazardous as possible. And this is important, especially because you have so many places that have been affected by the derailments of the train. People need to reach out to these type of imperfect foods and other locations where they sell ugly food, so that you can have a more variety of things that can't be produced due to whatever is going on in your immediate area. So that's also another good reason to keep this in mind and to use it. And it's also cost effective. Like they'll send you these boxes. See these pictures here? They will send you these boxes, and it's pound for pound of food. It's not, oh, you only get one item of this, or you get one item of that, or one of this. No, they'll put a whole bunch of stuff in your box, and then you could just have it sent to you as much as you want, weekly, monthly, and just figure it out with them. And whatever your hunger level is or your need for food, figure it out with them, and they will set your account that way up to send it to you. And that's it. And all of these sites, remember, I'm always looking out for your whole lifestyle. All of these sites, when you go to the very bottom, have ways where you can put in applications to work at these sites, both in person and remotely. So take advantage of that as well. All right. We always want to be looking out for things like that, because you never know what is happening, especially since we have all these different shifts from state to state, where one day some official or representative wants you to be in office, and then next week they don't. Look at what's happening with Twitter. One week they're forcing everybody in the office. Next week they're telling them, like this week, don't come into the office. Like, make up your mind. So you always have to keep your options open when it comes to all this. So when you're visiting these sites, you might as well look at the career portion of this site as well as the job section and see what is happening. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm going to give you a whole bunch of more online resources for groceries. This is Misfits Market. Misfits Market is just the same as the others that we just went through. Imperfect Foods, Hungry Harvest, all the rest of that, Preserve Farm. More places for you to go onto the website. All right. Look at these groceries. Put your order in. Do it today, do it weekly, do it monthly. And on this one, they actually have little sales that give you like $1 off, 25% off, 33% off, 40, etc. Right? And then they also have savings on this one account. So if you're one of those people that like to do that, hey, this is it. And this is, again, another ugly food resource website. And they show you right here the ugly problem. It can be expensive to eat healthy, yet almost half of good food grown in this country is thrown out because it can't be sold. That's where we come in. And it to be true. If they could sell ugly food in the grocery store wouldn't be as expensive as it is. But everything has to be a certain way. It's silly, but it's a reality. Here's a couple of testimonials at the bottom. I'll read each one because it's not that big and or long. So the one person here, Chef Jenny Ben, they say, I love saving food. I love saving food so it doesn't go to waste. And I love the challenge of creating meals out of the products that are available each week. Okay. And then here you got another one, Jesse or Jessa. I'm giving them a big thumbs up and highly recommending them. My box is delivered to my door, and I live in an area where there is a super important. Wait. And I live in an area where that is super important, as nothing is close at all. And honestly, it doesn't seem cheaper compared to a grocery store. Okay. All right, so you got her take on it. See what she said? I'm giving them a big thumbs up and highly recommending them. My box is delivered to my door, and I live in an area where that is a super important. To where it is super important, as nothing is close at all. And honestly, it does seem cheaper compared to a grocery store. All right. Then last one here, Victoria says, Misfits always has a unique section of items I don't normally see in the store. Their produce is top notch and prices are fantastic. So see, I didn't know that. She's letting us know that there's some type of unique section in here. So maybe they have a specialty on foods and things like that. It happens, so they might have things like, pickled herring or different delicacies from certain cultures and etc. Sometimes they have that like in Whole Foods and Fresh Foods. I see that sometimes. Also, y'all don't forget that you can also buy food on Amazon as well, and they'll ship it to your house. Okay. Let's see. Oh, and on here they have blogs for recipes and how tos and market news for this particular website. Very interesting. They have recipe blogs, so that should be interesting. And then ultimately, when you need to check to make sure that all of these websites are doing what they need to do as far as making sure that they're being priced the right way. The food is, you know how the preserve website was talking about how the food was prepared. You can check all of that out to make sure that those websites are meeting the standards of the USDA by just simply going on to the USDA's website here, and you type in what it is you're looking for. If it's anything food related, you could put in like food pantry, food bank, etc., and this stuff will come up, because that's what I did. And here you'll have to do a little digging and searching and reading, but it'll talk to you about the resources that food pantries have, how the emergency food assistance program deals with them, how they make sure that what they're sending out to the customer meets their standards, right? And the USDA, they have this group called an Economic Research Service Team, where they stay on top of food pantries, um, farmers markets, and etc., to make sure that the food distributed by these places are distributed in ways that are supposed to be healthy. Like when they box them up and send them out, they want to make sure that they're doing it the way that their regulations and their suggestions are on their website, that those people are meeting those. And that's important. So when you come on to this website, you can find out that you can find out if the websites that I showed you previously, if they meet the federal nutrition assistance guidelines and etc. You can go on here. There are people here that you could actually call up or email to speak to them about issues that you may have with some of the websites or the food that was received. I'm not saying that happens. I'm saying if you needed to do that. And then you can go on to further read about household food securities in the United States and who runs and ensures that. The food and nutrition assistance people who deals with that, who runs that, the statistics of all of that, food pantries, who oversees them providing the emergency food to households and locations and services such as like churches or um, particular companies like the app we spoke about earlier, Too Good to Go. All of these things are regulated by this one governmental agency. So you might want to go on here, peruse around for any inquiry you have about a food pantry or food information, data product information, etc., and or anything food access, and you'll be totally fine. This is where you would need to go. And again, I'm going to put all of these websites in the description of this video for you to go into it and explore it in your own time, okay? And that was what I wanted to show you. Let me just go to Google. I want to find, I actually like this website. This is not part of the ugly food production, but this is boxed.com. I actually like this a lot. I buy from here personally. It's a wholesale warehouse, kind of like Amazon, but you don't need a membership or anything. It's like Costco's and what's that other one? Costco's and, oh my goodness, I used to have a membership to it. It's right here in Flushing. My goodness, what is the name of that place? Shoot. Oh, I can't think of it right now, but y'all know what I'm talking about. It's like Costco's. Daggone it. It's in my bag. I don't feel like going to get it. Anyway, instead of you having a membership, Boxed is just like Costco's. All right. So you can go on Boxed and buy all of your food that you need for the entire month. Okay. And they'll ship it to your house. And they don't do any extra nothing. They have sales on here, which is what I like. Um, Depending on where you live, sometimes you could use manufacturers' coupons in order to make your purchase even lower. In some states, they actually allow you to use EBT if you have food stamps. And that's with all these sites. You have to find out if they allow you to use it. The farmers markets let you use it. So do the pantries are supposed to be free. But if you're doing it online from a pantry that comes on like Preserve Farm or something, you have to ask them. But it's a nice place. I actually like it a lot. I don't do a lot of like bulk shopping, but I know that if I ever wanted to, because I don't need to do that, right? But if you need to do that, there are sales on here. They have products of the week, everything that you need in bulk, so that if you want it, you just come on here, peruse around, fill out your cart, and you can shop by aisle on here too, just like if you were in Costco's, and then you buy what you need to buy, and then they'll ship it to your house. And then everybody still knows that you could do the same thing with regular grocery stores. Like, let me go to Peapod. Let's see if I could just bring that up and then put that on here. Yeah, here we go. Now, you guys should know Peapod is like actually Stop and Shop, right? So Stop and Shop, I don't know why they have it different, but Stop and Shop is Peapod, right? I really like them. I haven't really been buying from them in a while, but I used to do this regularly. Like a few years ago, I would actually be at work shopping and then have the driver come drop it to me by the time I get home, and then that was it. I used to do that a lot. But I stopped. But this is a good one too. I know for a fact they take EBT, because when I was lucky enough to get food stamps for like a half a year one time, I used to buy on Peapod all the time with that in New York City. I don't know what they do everywhere else. So this is another one. Only thing, you got to tip the driver. That's the only aggravation with Peapod, because the drivers are really pissy sometimes, but such is life. So that's all the things that you have, so that you can make sure. I showed you how to get free food, which is from the pantries, and if you go on to the USDA's website, you can type in local food pantry, and they will be able to show you a local food pantry for anywhere throughout the United States. You could also just Google um, food pantry throughout the United States, or food pantries within the US or whatever, and it'll come up. You'll do it by your location, or you could do it by your zip code, and they'll give you what they have. Um, Also, there's an organization of farmers markets for the United States, so you could Google that as well. I know here in New York City, we have a farmers market down on 14th Street in Manhattan that happens. I think they do that like every other weekend or every weekend or something like that. But if you go on the website, you just Google it, you'll find it, and you'll be able to go there. And they're right there in the square, in the Union Square. They put up the tents, and everyone's out there selling everything. They even sell books. Even, I mean, it's a farmers market, but they sell whatever they want, books, whatever is there. They just, because it used to be a big Barnes and Noble over there. I don't know if it's still there, because I haven't been there in a while, but they do that routinely down there, because a lot of the people in Manhattan, they like to eat organic food. So that is, I know for a fact, a contracting thing that happens in New York regularly. You could also, if you live in New York, either call or go online to 311 to find all the farmers markets throughout the five boroughs as well. Okay. and definitely upstate, because 9 times out of 10, all of the people in the farmers markets are going to be coming from upstate New York to downstate to sell their produce and whatever goods, other goods they have. Um, Another place you might go to, now this is a store if you have it in your area, is what, Trader Joe's, right? Trader Joe's usually has certain farmers markets merchants that work exclusively with Trader Joe's. I know here in Queens we have one where they have one dude where he specializes in rhubarb pie. That dude, when he comes through with those pies, I have to get one. All he is the that's the man. He's a rhubarb pie man. He's the man. So he comes through, and then they have another guy that does applesauce, and I don't know if he does apple pie, but I know he's serious with that applesauce. So in the particular Trader Joe's store, if they do it, I don't know if they do it everywhere, but I know here in my borough, the one that we have, they have two merchants that come and they specialize in two specific items. And you go on the list, and when it shows up in the store, they shoot you like an email. Me, I have mine on text alert, but yeah, it's pretty. And those his pies are great. When I tell you his pies are great, they're homemade. They're great. They're great. So it depends on, what you like, and who has some kind of contract or deal put together with whatever store that's there. But look out for that stuff too. And the way you find that out is you just ask the people in the store who works there. Like, oh, look, do you have any special merchants that come to the store that sell what they make specifically? They'll tell you yes, no, or whatever it is. And then sometimes you go on the website and they have different things on the website to let you know what's available. Do that as well. And if you go onto the farmers markets organizational website, you'll see that too. There's certain ways that you can contact people, find out about particular specialties in different areas of the country, and show up. I know, like here in New York, when the seasons change, usually when you go into fall, we have, like, Queens has a farm. We have a Queens County farm. So the farmers that live upstate, they bring their things down and they sell it at the farm, while the farm actually grows and produces food for itself. And the residents of Queens and everywhere else in New York City, they have the option of going to the farm and actually purchasing the produce and items there if they want to. But you could find a lot of that stuff out online and actually contact those individuals personally to see if you can buy from them individually. You don't always have to go to those locations, because people are always trying to have side hustles and do things under the table. So if you have someone in your local area, why not find out if you can strike a deal with them? You never know. Yep. And they also barter too. That's a good thing too about those people at the farmers market a lot. You buy stuff generally, yes, it's expected, but if you're a person that makes things, like there was a lady that used to stand outside Trader Joe's. She used to make these really nice quilts, right? So she first came, and then there was another person that came with bags, and those two, with the customers and some of the farmers that were selling produce, they would swap from time to time. Like, I would see him giving her a bag of food, she give him a blanket, whatever, and the other one with the bag. They sell them to you too, but they sell them to you wholesale. Like however much it costs, that's what you're gonna pay. But those two would just exchange. Like, you give me some food, I'll give you a blanket. So you never know. Maybe you have something that you make or you buy, and they might want it. Who knows? You talk to people and find out. But even if that doesn't work out, and that has nothing to do with anything, you still have the option of going on each one of these websites and the one app, Too Good to Go, right? And eat as great as you want, eat as rich as you want, eat as healthy as you want, eat as nutritionally as you want, eat as, I don't know, often as you want, with all of these different websites. and all of this different information. And when you need more information and you need to make sure that what you're getting is staying in line with the USDA, go onto the USDA's website and make sure that that information is lining up and within the same guidelines and policies of that governmental agency. And that's it. Bye. Good night, y'all. Yep. So now you got your food. So none of y'all should be hungry, okay? No one should be hungry and no one should be saying, "Oh, I can't afford food," because the app itself, that Too Good to Go, you put that app on your phone and wherever you stand, you can find out if there's any restaurants, any gourmet shops, any bakeries, whatever is saying, okay, we have some food that we'd like to donate to the app. If you're in this particular area, anytime, da 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 da, come pick it up. The bag costs $5, $10, $12. It's going to be a bag of food, a whole bunch. I did it once because when I was working in Brooklyn one day, the guy I was working with, he told me about this app. And I said, let me, I didn't tell him. I said, after work, I said, let me try it out. So where I was at is Brooklyn in the area called what's it, Sunnyside? I think so. If y'all ever come here to New York City, go there because it's like a whole pier for like 3 or 4 blocks of like warehouses of different stores, different things to do, different things to buy. They have like antique comic shops, comic book shops. They have a whole section of like Japanese apparel and Japanese art and food and just Japanese experience. Like if you go in there, they have a whole garden like with the trees and stuff that usually are in Japan and the way that they eat in Japan, everything to the kimono to the chopsticks. It's really nice. And then what else do they have in there? It's just like a whole bunch of stuff. They have from other countries people who are actually like tailors and shoemakers that actually make the clothes and the shoes from scratch right there for you. I mean, they're not going to be able to do it right at the second, but measure you, put together what you want, then you order it and you come back and get it. It's a really nice place. They have what do they have for kids? And then they have oh, it's like an old school what's the arcade? Because that's the thing that I wanted to go back for, but I never went back because I totally forgot about it. But me, I'm a pinball nut. Like if I get my hands on a real pinball, I've been searching the internet. If anybody knows where I can buy a real pinball machine, let me know in the comments somewhere. Because I've been dying to get a real pinball machine. I love pinball machine. That used to be my thing back in the days. Um, it really was. Pinball machines, I love that shit. And the what is that thing when you hit the I don't know what it's called, but when the little thing comes out the hole and you bang it down, I used to love that too. But that's my Donkey Kong and pinball machines in that game where you take the hammer and bang stuff back down into the hole. I really like that. But yeah, come check that out. All right, have a good night. See you soon.